Sunday, guys, how are you? It is the new year, so I'm back to getting into my meal prep because I totally fell off of that probably in the last month, probably all of December. So as you all know, about 3 months ago, I had a neck injury, a herniated disc that was pinching on my nerve, which meant I couldn't work out, which also meant I didn't eat the best, I didn't make the wisest choices, and when that happens, the pounds pack on me. So over the last 3 months, I've probably put on about 15 pounds. So want to get back off because I always just feel best without that. I am making some chocolate zucchini muffins from my favorite cookbook. I got a new one. This is her newest one, Danielle Walker. I love her recipes. It is a very slippery, slowly. It just kind of goes down and down and down. But I'm ready to get back on it. So that's why I'm meal prepping today. I've got my salads ready to go. I've got my veggies cut up. And the reason I'm making chocolate zucchini muffins is because we can't deprive ourselves of sweets. It's just not real. And where did my eggs go? Here they did. So I'm gonna talk and do this as we go along. So this recipe needs 8 eggs. I'm gonna crack those in my KitchenAid. So you can't ever deprive yourself of sweets, because if you deprive yourself, you will never be successful. You will always want something and you will feel you can't have it, and then you binge. So the difference being, instead of having 5 cookies, you're just gonna have 1. Or instead of 5 muffins, you're gonna have just 1. Because muffins aren't very big, but I gotta keep count here. This is number 5. Muffins aren't very big, so you can walk out of the kitchen and then come back in and have a little bit more. So let me see how many yolks I have in here. 6. 2 more. So in here we're gonna put eggs, applesauce, and some maple syrup. I have 1 more to go. And these are nut-free, so these are also great for you to be able to send to school with your kids. Okay, so that's 8 eggs in there. We're gonna put a cup of maple syrup. I don't measure my maple syrup, and I don't always like it super sweet, so I never put as much as they ask for. Okay, and also in here we are gonna put our applesauce. So I just buy these pre-packaged, make sure they're organic, and make sure the only ingredients is apples. You can also make your own. I've done my own in the Instant Pot actually, and they turn out really, really good. You just throw them in there with some cinnamon. Comes out really good. But this is just convenient, because convenience is important when you're meal prepping, because you're trying to do 8 million things at once. Let me also preheat my oven to 350. Get that going. Okay, so all that we get in there, we are gonna just mix that up real quick, so it's gonna be a little noisy. Okay, that's good enough. Now we're gonna put the dry ingredients. So we are gonna do 2/3 cup of coconut flour. And this I will measure kind of. And I don't usually love cooking with coconut flour because things are super dry. But I trust this girl's recipes, so I'm gonna give it a whirl. And it's got arrowroot powder in there, or arrowroot starch, so that kind of makes it a little bit more flour-ish, like real flour. We are gonna put 6 tablespoons of this, and I will probably measure this. Okay, so we'll just put 6 tablespoons of that. And what we're also adding to this is collagen. Collagen, I buy mine online, and that is just a protein basically, and it's the most abundant protein in our body, so it's very important for us. It is so good for everything. It is good for our joints, for our skin, our nails, our gut. It's good for everything. So this you can just throw in a smoothie in the morning too, but I love that she has it in this recipe, and it calls for 1/2 cup. And there's two different kinds. There's the one that gels up, and then there's the one that doesn't. This is the one that does not. Okay. We need half a cup of raw cacao powder. That's here. This stuff is very bitter, so it will make your muffins a little bit bitter, but just add a little bit more sugar if you want. I'll do half a cup of that. And then, let me just make sure that's all my dry ingredients. Oh, we need some baking soda. We need a teaspoon of that. And I probably need my glasses on here. Here's a teaspoon of, let me make sure it's baking soda, yeah. And then we need cinnamon, and I'm not gonna measure that because you can never have too much cinnamon in something. And nutmeg is a 1/4 teaspoon. I try not to put too much of this in this because that can be pretty pungent. And then just some sea salt as always, that helps with leavening. And there you go. And let me just mix this all together. I got my coconut flour, collagen, cacao. Okay, give me 2 seconds, it's gonna be noisy. So the applesauce will also give it some sweetness, okay? So this is pretty runny in here, but I have to add, this is a zucchini muffin. So what I did is I grated one medium-sized zucchini. You need about 1.5 cups. I think that's about there. I didn't measure it, but I think it's pretty close. Make sure you wring out your zucchini in a paper towel or something because it's got a lot of moisture in there. And then I'm gonna add some chocolate chips. These are just dairy-free chocolate chips. For those of you that don't do dairy, you can put regular chocolate chips in. I like these because they're really small and they taste good. And that's about 1/2 cup. And you just mix that all up. Now, I've got my baking tin over here. I'm gonna use my donut tin. So it's a little bit more work trying to get it all in there rather than just pouring it all in, but I'll take my time with that. And I'm gonna make them donuts, because if I make them donuts, then I feel like I'm having a donut, and that makes it a win-win. So yeah, so my lesson for you today is everything in moderation. Don't deprive yourself of certain sweets. Just make them healthier, or make them yourself, because then you know what ingredients you're putting into them, and that makes a huge difference, because pretty much everything out there is processed. And being gluten-free, and you buy gluten-free this, gluten-free that, some people think, oh, that'll be healthier, but there's still just as many chemicals in a lot of that stuff. So really read your labels. It's okay to have a few things, but just 1 or 2 at the most, and then move on. So we are all getting back on track. Me especially, and healthy recipes are always a help in your meal planning. All right, so everyone have a happy Sunday. Thanks for hopping on, and feel free to share this with anyone. Thank you. Bye.